Hello, my name is Shadley and welcome back for another episode of Anbennar in EU4 as Zurkanrek. In previous episode we won our war against a decent chunk of the Federation, and we also started building a lot of manufactories, and we've currently got, well, actually got one underway right now. I think we've got a fairly good income, but there is some missions that I'd like to do, like the organized exhibition. It does cost us almost 800 ducats though, so that's going to be a bit of an issue, but we'll get that in due time, I reckon. And like, if we can start progressing along with the mission tree a little bit further, if we have a look at our vassal, for example, they've done most of these things. Well, not necessarily all of them, but a decent chunk of them at least. They haven't done this side, actually, at all. And of course, they're part of the... Oh, right, so they've got the central bank already opened. Well, at least they've sort of done that mission there. Right, well, so we know that we are quite a bit behind in the mission tree there. We also got a pretty decent size of fleet now. Did we capture any light ships? I think we may have, but we may have already lost them or sent them to do trading elsewhere. This is already going into the northeastern areas. Oh, we lost our army reformer. That's a bit of a shame. Oh, that's level 3 advisor. That would be a lot of points, to be fair. It does cost a bit of an upkeep, admittedly. We could also just go for the land maintenance modifier up advisor and then upgrade that to level 2. It does cost us a little bit, but at least it's not going to be too bad. Disaster at sea. An entire trading fleet has been lost at sea, taking all aboard to a watery grave. News of the disaster is sweeping the docks, and our superstitious sailors are taking the loss deeply to heart. So it would be for 10 years, minus 10% morale of navies, or lose a bit of mill points. I'm willing to lose a little bit of mill points. It's only like 3 months and we'll have that back. So it's not a massive setback, admittedly. Right, the diet summon thing expires. So I did realise that... Oh, right. I could see some more lands if I wanted to. Although adventurers are a little bit upset by that. I could try... Technically speaking, I could start removing some of these modifiers from over here. Mostly just to start reducing the influence a little bit. Like the free enterprise increases the influence and loyalty, but then reduces the max absolutism. Although as a republic, I don't think we'll be able to get absolutism above 0. So we could alternatively put in the colonial charters in. That would be 5% influence and 5% loyalty. So in theory, it would not change the situation too much. So let's put that one in. It's gonna speed up the colonies a little bit at least. And then, if we summon the diet, let's have a look at what sort of missions they have. Clergy wants to have Yarmut's base taxes to 6. Adventurers want us to own a province, and the mages want the advisor to be 5. So I guess we're going to take that one. And then Yarmut, where is... Oh, it would be somewhere around here. Oh, there it is. Do we have the edict? No, not yet. So let's just put in the development cost edict in here. Save us a little few points at least. Although it's going to cost us a bit of money in the long run, but it's alright. We've got the mission done. We've got a bit of clergy, which means that we got, not clergy, prestige. So we've got pretty darn good prestige overall. Currently trading both of the armies that we have. Hoping to increase our professionalism to 20%, or maybe to 22 before we start doing any more wars. Just so that we can get the modifiers from the increased... professionalism, as well as then, of course, I suppose you can walk through my lands. We'll have a bit of leeway once we start fighting, so that we won't be losing the modifiers too quickly, at least. Or we won't be losing, or going below 20 professionalism, essentially. War score course versus other religions could be quite useful. Institutions spread in True Faith provinces are quite good as well. Call of the High Seas. Heavy and light ship cost goes down drastically. Now that would allow us to expand our trade fleet quite a bit, to be fair, which wouldn't do too bad, but I think we're going to take the religious wars versus other religions, or the war score court, so we can take a lot more land from the centaurs, should we so choose. They do have a province over here, which I definitely want to take at some point. That does remind me, though, maybe we should get a spy network and start getting some claims on them. We can always just use the superiority thing, war goal against them. And like, if we have a look at their armies, they've got a lot of manpower, but their army size is about the same as us, but their miltech is a lot lower. They only got miltech 8, whereas we've got 12, and 13 is going to be another cannon Right, and that increases the fire and shock of the artillery as well, so that is going to be pretty important tech there. But there's also the printing press that should be appearing in a few years. And that means that we might have to do... Oh, merchant shipwreck. Oh dear. We're getting a lot of this bad events right now. Now there's also the trade ideas, but trade or diplotech we're still behind in. Oh, the combat ways increase. Alright. It's land and merchants, royal navies, and naval batteries. So blockade force required plus 100%, hostile disembark time plus 200%, hostile fleet attrition plus 5. Okay, so that's the attrition one. Let's just double check the coastal defense. So yeah, that doesn't bring in the attrition yet. We're building some coastal defenses. Well, we just got them finished. But like, we'll be able to utilize some of these to guard our coastline, so enemies blockading us will have to go repair every now and then, giving us a bit of room to maneuver. Plus, we got one of the biggest fleets around this corner of the world anyway, so I don't think we'll have to worry too much about blockades overall. Especially with all of these being inland sea. Which means that our ships... We got 15 galleys at ability, so it's not massive, but it's pretty decent. And our galley combat ability, actually, be able to see through here. We got plus 40% in here. 15 from the naval doctrine and 25 from the naval ideas, wasn't it? Yeah, naval ideas. So that is already... Oh, okay, I'm going to say no to that. Oh, and there we go. Finally got the professionalism up. Because I'm trying to save some money, and if every month, well, not every month, but like every year or so, one of my allies is just asking for another 100 ducats, that's slowing us down quite a bit. Project executive powers, ooh. All power cost minus 2%, stability cost modified power minus 15%. Admittedly, we have max stability right now. Devolution of powers, possible advances plus 2, monthly autonomy change minus 0.05. Oh, that would allow us a lot of absolutism, consolidated power. Lose 60 absolutism on new ruler. Re-election increases absolutism by 10 for each election term. Oh, re-election cost minus 10%. Year absolutism plus 2. Max absolutism plus 25. But I don't think 25 is going to be enough to reach us anywhere, really. And the new men. Max absolutism minus 20. Random candidate bonus plus 1. Length of election term minus 1. Okay, so that might not be the best either. I think we might just go with this one. Reduce the all power cost overall. So that's going to save us at least some points over time. It might not be the best, but it's fairly balanced. Well, fairly good option, let's just say. Sending delegation. I'm going to say no to that one. Although, what is our standing in the Federation right now? We've got high standing. Alright, and... Assembly house. I can share granaries. A little bit less manpower. But that should increase our standing at least a little bit. Well, it's still high standing, so it's not quite enough to be elected as the ruler of the Federation. Although if we were, that'd be brilliant. It would just be expanding up, helping our brethren. Okay, well, I suppose that's something that I can do. It's 50 ducats, but we'll get that in about 2.5 months anyway, so it's not too bad. Oh, someone's going in there. I mean, the centaurs are having a bit of mass combat again in here. Like, they've got pretty large armies besieging this area now, but they are being distracted by a lot of various fleets and all that. Troll refugees from Grombar. Time aware of refugee fleeing persecution from Grombar mass our borders, they seem desperate for a place to call a new home, and won't take no for an answer. Okay. Bit more local autonomy. Small tolerant increase for trolls. Configure what they have in return. So we'll still add that, but the tolerance will decrease. Prevent the enemy with entry with force if necessary. I'm gonna let them in. I'm sure it'll be fine. Right, so how close are we getting the exhibition going? It's gonna cost us a bit of points, to be fair. 750 now, okay, and election. If we were to re-elect, that would cost us a decent bit of Republican tradition, but we can probably do that. It's gonna allow us to get a bit more points overall, and now we can actually get the Diplotech, which is going to be a good news for us, and that reduces corruption even further. Not that we have any right now, but it also increases the trade power, right? Yeah, trade efficiency. Right, well, not the power, but efficiency, which means that we're still making pretty good money overall, I dare say. dubious spending practices. Ah, well, speak of the corruption. We gain some more manpower, Yaramo. Nobles gain some influence. Alright. A bit more production efficiency. Let's have a look. Where is that? Oh, right, so over there is... Sure. Is this the... Oh, right, so it's the entire area gets a modifier. Production efficiency. Oh, actually, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. Although, you know, it's a bit of corruption which now needs to be taken down, which is costing us a little bit. We're still making well over 10 ducats per month, though, so I'm not too worried about it, but it is something to keep in mind. So we're less than 100 colonies away from... So in about a year, a bit less than that, we should get this province colonized. And we lost a general. So this army has dropped drilling. Alright, so we got a 1032. It's pretty good siege, but also we can do a bit more drilling. I mean, how is our professionalism now? It's 22%. So we could maybe... Well, first of all, I suppose we still want to get the exhibition going, and we can't do that while at war, so we'll have to wait a little bit before declaring wars. Oh. Population. Well, that means that that colony will be down completely. So I don't need to worry about the ferocity or anything like that. Right, so now we've got at least a province to go in there. We could probably figure out some of these provinces. Actually, do we have any more potential for gold in here? It's very small potential. A lot of furs are very likely though, but go ahead and send in the colonies down this way. Slowly make our way towards the trade center of trade over there. That'll probably be fine, and... Oh, right, we could get a naval idea. Yearly Navy tradition, blockade impact on seas +1. Oh. So now with the air out thing as well, blockades will be a +2. Technically speaking, +4 for a... compared to a non-blockaded coastal fort. But yeah, that is going to be a massive boost for anything that we need to siege on the coastlines. And everything... Oh, everyone's fighting the centaurs right now. Oh, right, we've got some points, so we could get a claim over here for sure. And then I suppose we don't have enough points to get a claim down here yet, but we might want to claim that at some point. Force them away from the ports, and I suppose we've got this one. Oh yeah, we've got a truce with them for another 6 years, so we won't be able to expand into the teal color neighbor that we have here for any time soon. So I'm guessing these... We've still got pretty good trust overall. So I suppose I could just trade some favors of more trust. Like, they wouldn't be able to give me too much money, I reckon. And all that. Maybe some manpower or something like that in a pinch or something. Profiteering. Okay, so we can get local unrest and trade power, but less goods produced. Where is this one? Oh, over there. Competition is good for everyone. I don't think there's unrest in there per se. Yeah, so a little bit less trade power, but more goods produced. Well, I mean, I suppose it's grain. It's not really that bad. Oh, our truce just ended with someone. Alright then, well. Oh. Oh. Right, our neighbor over here is the leader of the Federation. They've got a couple alliances going. Troll Toll. The unusual reports coming from one of our provinces. So one of the bridges on the lands of a local noble has apparently been taken over by a troll. Although that's hardly unheard of. What's surprising is that the beast claims to be, of all things, a Pope League server out. Apparently the troll came to know that the state has taken over the collection of trade tolls from passing traders, and is surprise of our local sheriff has been depositing all non-edible payments on the nearest tax collection post with regularity worth of economic clockwork. The complaints come not from the traders, as they consider the payments to be rather slender, but from the noble, as he wants the vile beast's head to do rather gruesome acts to it. It is also worth noting that since the troll took over, he has been delivering payments with far more consistency than his former noble administration, leading our sheriff to suspect of embezzlement. We can find the noble for his management and appoint the better collector. That would increase tolerance for trolls. Ooh, that's 400 crowns that we get from that. Okay. Nobility's loyalty would drop quite a bit though, so that's not necessarily the greatest. Let us reassure this enterprising subject. So they still lose some loyalty, but not quite as much. We wouldn't get the money though. Or allow the noble to do as he wishes, so production efficiency in Kanmud would drop by 20% for 10 years. I think we're going to take the money, just so we can continue with the missions in here. So organize the execution, and I suppose we're going to go for the lawful federation. Does that mean that we're... Ah, there we go, so now we're going to do the stuff in here. In theory, we don't have a statesman. Oh, you need to have a statesman or... Okay. So it's not both, but it's just one of them. Oh, and we still got the focus on administration. Admin points, we're quite a bit ahead of time, so I'm just going to drop the national focus for the time being. So we can get a little bit more of the other points. We also, we got 2 idea groups here still that we're working on. And we don't have any admin idea groups yet. Although that's probably going to change in due time. Once we get admin 14, we're going to take something from the admin category for sure. Right, so is there anything else? So that require... do all of these require statesmen? No, necessarily. Sea laws. Oh, right, that goes for the Anti-Piracy Act and all that. And it goes all the way through here. So we've got a lot of things to do in here. What about this one? That's some more diplo points as well. I suppose there's only one thing that you can have going at the same time, and then this one's going to be requiring a bit of money, but the local banks would be a decent... Well, it's a half a decade extra tax income, so it's not too bad. It's not massive. But now at least we've done one of the things there. So in theory, if we wanted to, we could do a war against the Centaurs, for example. They've still got an enemy somewhere. Second delegation... How much points do we have? 16.5. Oh, so we'd get a lot more in that. Okay. So I was going to say no, going to do that though. Do we have... Oh, right, nobility is a bit upset still. Accommodation of natives in the new colony there. So local settler increase plus 25 and native assimilation and all that. Actually, that does remind me. If we were to switch to the native trading policy from the coexistence and put on the clergy's establish missions in new lands. Native assimilation plus 50%, so we'll go with that one. It does increase some of the modifiers in there, so like whenever we conquer something, it's going to be a lot less points that we get overall. But I think it'll be fine. Right, so we've got that one set down, so let's go ahead and switch to the trading policy. It's going to drop our stability a little bit. I'm sure we'll be fine, for the most part anyway. And that way we can get the assimilation events a bit more often, without having to worry about the natives rising up or anything. Oh right, state firearms regiments. That's going to increase the land maintenance modifier a little bit, but army drill gain modifier goes up. And that'll be good. I mean, these still got pretty good drill there, and I'm pretty sure that these are... Well, they're not quite full on drill, but they're pretty darn close. Suppose we could do a bit of drilling with this army still. Once we get a claim over here, we might do the war against the Centaurs. Although I suppose... I don't know how much I can take from them in this war. Sure that there's at least a little bit that we can do. Or we could try getting the war rise to do some fighting within the Federation. That's also a possibility. Let's just double check the mission tree. How many of these missions requires not to be at war? This one does not. Stability... Do you know how to modify integration efforts? Right, okay. So I suppose we've done the same head thing not that long ago. Or something. Oh wait, no, it might be something else. But anyway, we can't do that one right now. This one only requires a statement on money. Same with that one. Yeah, that's... Okay, so we can actually do most of these even at war. So we don't need to worry about having a peace for the time being. I mean, the Lawful Federation did require us to be at peace, but a lot of the others we don't need to worry about right now. So I suppose what we could do is we could indeed do a war. Let's go ahead and stop the drill of the armies then. They've gotten a little bit more drill, and I'd say our army quality is probably one of the higher ones in the world right now. Treasure fleet departs. We could just pay off the pirates. Suppose that means at least a guaranteed income. It's not necessarily quite as good, but it removes a lot of the risk from the business. So once the troops... Oh, our spy got detected. Agenda of the diet. All provinces in the Zurkanrek area. Where's that one? Oh, this one. Right, I mean, we'd have to also colonize a little bit in there. How long would they... We'd have 20 years. I don't think we'll be able to do that. I mean, we can conquer the province at least, but colonizing all of that is... Well, I suppose we could probably afford doing several colonies at once. That's something that we could do. Proposal of the merchants. So, Zurkanrek has... Oh, hold on a minute. Which trade node is it? Some sort of sea. Close that one. I honestly don't know. I think it might be an area down here that we don't even know of yet. Or it might be the area down here that all the trade from us is flowing into. And then there's a proposal of the mages. They want a mage tower. I think I'm going to take the nobility's proposal regardless. I suppose what I can do is just recall that one. Send it over here. We're going to get a second colony going. Ah, now we can do another mission. Accept our brethren. Ah! Sabalari as an accepted culture. It gives a bit of prestige. It does cost a bit of points, but it's not too bad. And then we're going to open our cabinet later. I mean, I suppose we'll probably have some sort of cooldown on that one. And it's going to cost us a bit of money, but yeah, I suppose we can do that one. Oh, we're going to open the cabinet already. I mean, yeah, it's going to cost us a bit of manpower, admin points. It does, on the other hand, reduce the advisor cost quite a bit, which is going to save us a lot of money in the long run. And then it's the melting pot. Well, that's already been completed by someone, so we don't need to worry about that one. But hey, we're catching up with the missions now. Slowly, at least. I mean, this branch we can't do, and then there's the local banks that we still need a lot of money to complete, but that's not too bad. And then over here, there's, well, we just need a statesman, quite frankly. And we just haven't got one right now. Looking at the options that we have. Now, the trade efficiency is pretty decent. Prestige, we could probably go for the extra production, actually. That's level 3 advisor, and it's going to have a bit of an upkeep cost there, but like the extra prestige, we got so much prestige already, that I think this is going to be better for us. Plus, it does mean that we get a little bit more admin points overall, but how much do we still make money per month? I mean, with the corruption routing and all that, it's not massive amount. But I'm sure that with the extra production and all that we'll be doing, it will be better. Of course, we should probably build a bit more manufactories at some point, but maybe we'll wait on those. Our armies are now ready for fighting, I do say. So I suppose we could do... Oh, the centaurs are now at peace. How much armies do they have? Still got 37,000 men. They got Middletech 9, so they've slowly started catching up. But okay, they've got 12,000 men there. So if I move this one in, it's only cavalry and cannons. So it's going to be a fast little army for sure. I think we're going to manage, and then with this army we can maybe move down this way so we can seize both of these provinces at once. Of course, if we're going to fight them, it needs to be the... Oh, right, a fleet could probably do a lot of the combat victories for us. Huh. So we are going to have a war against the centaurs. Now, it might not happen... Well, I suppose it might start today, but it might not go all that far. Marines force limit plus 25% and sailor recovery speed plus 25%. That's not really too bad, especially the faster we can complete this, we can get the naval barrage cost and ship disengagement chance going up. So there is a lot of good stuff to be had here, plus the light ship combat ability and ship trade power from the Rising Sun. And then there's Naval Academy and Admiral cost minus 10%, Naval Leader fire plus 1, and it's the production efficient 10% that we get once we get a 3, well, a total of 21 ideas. So that's not too far off. We're still... How many years? 7 years ahead of time. Oh, it looks like it's been... The printing press has been discovered somewhere. And I'm pretty sure it's not going to be spreading to us automatically, so we'll need to figure out a nice location to develop again. It's not going to be any of these. I suppose we'll have a look at... That's already pretty high. This one could probably do. It was cost us a lot of points, admittedly, which does slow down a lot of the mission trees. That's kind of what has... kept us back a lot because the amount of points that we had to pile into our provinces just to get the institutions in here a bit faster. And we could probably afford waiting a little bit with those. Like, we don't necessarily need to get the institution quite yet and get maybe a mission or two first. So once the armies are in position, which I suppose is going to take a little bit longer. Oh, there is a fight going on already. I suppose there might be some more civil wars within the Federation. Oh, you're moving. Oh, you locked in. Would be a shame if someone declared war on you. Anti-monstrous conquest. You've got some allies, and if we have a look at the total numbers, we would be sort of on the lower end. On the underdog in terms of the numbers, but in terms of the quality of the troops, we should be pretty darn good. We'll do the war there. I can see that there's some enemy fleets in here. You know what? I'm going to give you orders to hunt enemy fleets. And the Northern Sea. Enemy invasion imminent. Oh. Over there. They do have some stuff in there. And we've got some forts in here, and we've got a combat in here, which we are going to win. Because the terrain is really bad for them. Oh, we've got a new mercenary company because we're fighting against centaurs. Is that one something that we can... I don't think we can catch that one here, so we'll just go ahead and conquer that. We can get in here and siege down the province. Oh, they invaded there, I see. Where's the fleet going now? It's moving south? Right, so it's moving around here at least. And we know that the enemies are somewhat busy. We've got one province siege down already. We might want to actually slow down. I'm going to send this one to relieve the siege on the west end there. And I suppose this one could just go ahead and march through our ally into the enemy territories here. Now, to be fair, they do still have a decent chunk of troops. Okay, yeah, they got 25,000 cavalry and then another 13,000 troops. Oh, we've got a bit of naval combat in here. Did they have galleys? They do have a few. Our ships still should be pretty decent quality overall. They got some heavies in there, so we're probably going to lose a few ships. I'm sure that we're going to still punish them quite a bit in here, regardless. And we've got the +1 from being fighting off our own. Oh, we captured one of the heavy ships, and also a transport. We did lose 6 light ships though, so that's not exactly great. I suppose we should send that one home. And that one home as well. Oh, right, so that was the entire trade fleet that we had. So this is going to cost us a little bit extra money right now, but I suppose it will be fine. But I do realize that with that, we are now out of time for this episode. So if you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe if I haven't already. Also check out the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.